For 7 weeks, the world watched missiles fly between America and Iran. But the most powerful weapon in the conflict was not a missile. It was Donald Trump's phone. Hi, I'm Nakshkazi and you are watching Suno News. During the 2026 US-Iran crisis, one social post from Trump could move global oil prices faster than an actual airstrike. Why? Because nearly 20% of the world's oil passes through one narrow route, the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran sits right next to it. This means even one sentence about closing the route can send shockwaves through global markets. Oil traders panic, shipping costs rise, governments start making emergency calls, and that is where Trump's real war begins. Not just in skies, but inside people's mind. This is called psychological warfare. The goal is not only to destroy your enemy's military. The goal is to control how they think, to make them hesitate, to make them doubt, to make them fear what might happen next. And Trump understands this game very well. During the conflict, these messages followed a pattern. One day, he hinted at overwhelming retaliation. The next day, he suggested diplomacy. 1 hour, Iran looked close to war. The next, peace seemed possible. Then suddenly, another warning, another deadline, another threat. It looked chaotic, but chaos had a purpose. It created strategic ambiguity. In simple words, no one knew what Trump would do next. Not Tehran, not Gulf countries, not China, not even investors on Wall Street. And when people cannot predict your next move, they stop thinking strategically. They start reacting emotionally. That is psychological warfare. Sometimes Trump's real target was not Iran at all. It was market. Because if markets panic, leaders panic. If oil prices jump, pressure builds everywhere. Pakistan feels it, Europe feels it, and Gulf feels it. And even countries far from the battlefield start paying the price. That is the power of perception. For example, Trump did not need to physically block the oil routes. Just the possibility of escalation near Hormuz was enough. Ships slowed down, freight cost increased, insurance premiums surged. Fear did the work before force was even used. That is far cheaper than war and sometimes more effective. Trump had used this method before. Maximum pressure, maximum unpredictability, then sudden negotiation. Critics call it reckless. Supporters call it strong leadership. But the real strategy is simple. Manufacture uncertainty. Because certainty keeps countries calm. Certainty keeps investors confident. Certainty keeps allies loyal. Break that certainty and everyone starts making weaker decisions. Even the ending of the conflict followed the same pattern. Before the dust has fully settled, Trump moved to control the final headline. Not retreat, not compromise, victory. Because in modern conflict, the last story can matter more than the last strike. If people believe you won, that belief itself becomes power. And that is the uncomfortable truth of modern war. Missiles destroy buildings, but messages destroy confidence. A drone strike can damage a target. A single post can strike an entire region. That is why this was never just a military war. It was a war of perception, a war of fear, a war of uncertainty. And Trump was not just trying to defeat Iran, he was trying to make everyone from Tehran to Wall Street operate in doubt. Because once your enemies start making decisions in fear, the war is already shifted in your favor. That is modern power, and sometimes the most dangerous weapon in this world fits in your hand.